The drama begins with a shooting scene where the female lead, Xiao Xiao, is a substitute for the famous actress Fang Min. She always played dangerous roles for Fang Min, but she never got credit for it. After all, she was just a substitute. On the other side, we are shown the male lead, Fei Jing, who was very depressed. Lying in the bathtub, he says, "I want to see that girl again who only lives in my memories. Even though I've never seen that girl's face and she's never come in front of me, I still feel like I know her." He wakes up and his assistant Hao starts asking, "What happened?" "Right now, you should be worried about what will happen if Fang Min doesn't come to the media conference today." To this, Fei Jing says, "Don't worry about her. I'm sure that her dad, Mr. Fang Qing, will bring her no matter what." In the next scene, we see both the boss and the assistant walking into the media conference with a lot of attitude. All the media reporters are eagerly waiting for Fei Jing. Fei Jing comes and says, "We will soon find out who is behind the formaldehyde case, and the employees who had to face damage during this time, we will definitely help them. The rest of this case will be handled by my fiancée Fang Min, who should be arriving here shortly." On the other side, Fang Min is shown still getting her makeup done. She deliberately sends the makeup artist downstairs so she can talk to Xiao Xiao. Then she says to her, "Can you please go to the conference in my place? My dad is forcing me to attend this conference, but today I'm going to meet someone whom I haven't seen in years. Meeting him is very important to me." Since Xiao Xiao was her substitute anyway, she had to agree to Fang Min's request. In the next scene, she does her makeup and mixes several ingredients to make her face look exactly like Fang Min, so that no one would recognize her at the conference. After getting fully ready, she even attaches a recording pen to her earring. In the next scene, she comes in front of the media reporters, which Fei Jing had not expected at all. And the second thing was, this was the first time he saw Fang Min in front of his eyes. In front of the reporters, Xiao Xiao acts very convincingly as Fei Jing's fiancé, but quietly she starts saying to him, "If I'm helping you, then I have a condition too." To this, Fei Jing replies without even listening, "Whatever your condition is, I accept it." Then he confesses in front of the media, "Yes, the two of us are getting engaged." After that, when the two go into a separate room, Xiao Xiao, who was pretending to be Fang Min in front of him, starts saying, "My dad forced me into this engagement, and in exchange for helping you, my condition was that you cancel this engagement, because I don't like you and you don't have any reason to like me either." To this, Fei Jing looks into her eyes and says, "I won't cancel this engagement, and I like you. I don't even need a reason for that." When he wouldn't give in, Xiao Xiao gets angry. She breaks a bottle and, holding a piece of glass, starts threatening him. "I can even kill you." Even then, Fei Jing very innocently steps forward and says, "10 years ago you saved my life. So if today you take my life, it wouldn't matter to me." When Xiao Xiao sees that he's become stubborn, she starts threatening to kill herself. "If that's the case, then I'll end my own life." Fei Jing first stares at her, then walks away, because he knew she wouldn't actually hurt herself. After he leaves, Xiao Xiao sits sadly and thinks, "I never imagined that after so many years, you would appear in front of me again." Along with this, flashback scenes also play, which suggests that Xiao Xiao already knew Fei Jing, but now she doesn't want to see him in front of her. In the next scene, Fei Jing, while looking at Fang Min's picture, says, "Wherever you have gone, I will find you no matter what." Alongside, a flashback scene is shown where Hao had informed him that the real Fang Min had run away, and the one acting in front of him was fake. To this, Fei Jing says, "Anyway, we don't need this girl anymore, but let's see how long she can continue acting." In the present, while burning a photo, he says, "You are my Moonlight. How can I let you belong to someone else?" The next scene is of the next morning, where Xiao Xiao does her makeup again and gets ready in the form of Fang Min, because today she has to go meet Fei Jing. She gets completely ready. When she reaches to meet him, without even saying hello, she says, "I'm ready to marry you." Fei Jing says, "Oh, until yesterday you weren't ready for marriage, and today you are. Looks like your dad forced you a bit too much. Anyway, Miss Fang Min, it's important to know each other well before getting married." Xiao Xiao also replies with great confidence, "Oh, you investigated me so much behind my back, and still, you couldn't get to know me well." Then Fei Jing says, "As far as I know, you had a double-body substitute whose name was Xiao Xiao." Hearing this, she was a little surprised, but she didn't react and said, "Yes, I did, but I haven't met her in a long time, since I returned from abroad." But Fei Jing kept asking questions about Xiao Xiao, and she didn't want to get caught. So while finishing her glass of wine, she said, "I think you're more interested in my substitute Xiao Xiao than in me, so I should leave now." Fei Jing said, "I didn't mean it that way. I just wanted to say that now that we are engaged, why not get to know each other better?" In the next scene, he comes to drop Xiao Xiao at her house, but she doesn't let him enter the house, saying, "My house is a bit messy." But Fei Jing says, "No problem. Anyway, we're engaged now, so what's there to hide from me?" Then he enters so he can find some clue, but there's nothing, because Xiao Xiao was already prepared. She had even put up Fang Min's pictures in the house so that he wouldn't suspect anything. Fei Jing tries hard on his part to find some clue, that would prove she isn't the real Fang Min. Then Xiao Xiao goes to get fruits, and Fei Zheng asks her, "It looks like you've been living in this flat for a long time. Don't you go to your own home?" Xiao Xiao says, "I used to go, but haven't gone in a long time because I didn't want to marry you. That's why my dad threw me out of the house." Fei Zheng says, "You sure have a lot of excuses." Then, as she's about to walk away from him, Fei Zheng grabs her and pulls her close, saying, "You had an injury, right? Show me the mark." Xiao Xiao had already placed a fake scar beforehand. She says, "Seems like you're keeping too close of an eye on me." Now Fei Zheng gets angry too. In anger, he makes her sit on the sofa and says, "We should get to know each other even better, a bit more closely," because Fei Zheng knew this girl wasn't the real Fang Min. Xiao Xiao pushes him down and climbs over him and says, "If you just wanted to eat cherries, you could have told me." "What kind of way is this?" Fei Zheng, smiling, says, "You're still not ready to accept that you're not the real Fang Min?" To which she replies, "If I'm not the real Fang Min, then who am I?" Then Fei Zheng removes her mask, which he had already closely felt before. He says, "Truly, no one would be able to recognize you." After this, he tells her, "You are 25-year-old Xiao Xiao. Along with martial arts, you've also learned really good makeup skills." Xiao Xiao says, "Maybe I'm very talented, but still there must have been something missing. That's why you were able to recognize me so easily." Who Xiao Xiao is doesn't matter to Fei Zheng. He just wants her to tell him the real location of Fang Min. Xiao Xiao says, "You can't do anything because you announced our engagement in front of the media." To this, Fei Zheng says, "If I add a bit of melodrama, then everyone will join me in searching for Fang Min. It's better if you just tell me yourself." Saying this, he starts to walk away from there. So she quickly runs after him and starts showing him a video she had secretly recorded. She says, "If the media sees this video, they'll think you're a cheater and that you were forcing me." Fei Zheng says, "Why did you suddenly change your voice?" To which she says, "Haven't you ever heard of voice changers in TV shows?" He says, "I really don't like your voice." Xiao Xiao says, "Now I can't change my voice just for you, can I?" Fei Zheng, getting straight to the point, says, "Even if the media sees the whole video, no one will believe you. If you're really smart, then just tell me the real location of Fang Min." Saying this, he sits in the car and starts to leave. Xiao Xiao also starts running after his car. Seeing her, Fei Zheng stops the car and asks, "What do you want now?" She says, "I'm ready to tell you Fang Min's location, but I need a little time." To this, he says, "I also like dealing with smart people. You can take your time." Saying this, Fei Zheng leaves. But deep in his heart, he thinks, "Why did this girl's voice sound so familiar to me?" At the same time, a flashback scene is shown. When Fei Zheng had lost his eyesight, he used to listen happily to a certain voice. In the present, he tells his assistant Hao, "Start a new investigation on this girl Xiao Xiao." In the next scene, we see that Xiao Xiao tells Fang Min that Fei Zheng has found out about our identity. But don't worry, I have another solution. If we steal the papers of the formaldehyde case from him and make them public, then your marriage with him will be cancelled. Fang Min likes this idea. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao is coming to meet Fang Min. He asks her to tell him Fang Min's location. Xiao Xiao, showing a file, says, "As much as I know about Fang Min, she really likes traveling. This file has all the locations where she could be. Why don't we check these places one by one? By the way, I don't understand why you're only after Fang Min. As far as I know, maybe she likes someone else. Why don't I help you win her heart? If you agree to that, then I'll help you find her location." Fei Zheng also really likes this idea, so he agrees for happy cooperation. Actually, she wanted to find the formaldehyde case papers, so she needed to see his house. In the next scene, Fei Zheng gives her a tour of his house and takes her to his bedroom, where all around there are pictures of Fang Min. Seeing them, Xiao Xiao says, "Shall I tell you something? You probably don't even know that in most of these pictures it's actually me when I had makeup on." Fei Zheng says, "Looks like you're a little too fond of taking other people's identities." At this, Xiao Xiao starts to walk away angrily, and from her smile, it seems like she has completed her mission. But just then, from behind, Fei Zheng calls out to stop her. He says, "Miss Xiao Xiao, I think you need a thorough body check." She says, "Look, Mr. Fei Zheng, I don't have anything on me, and what you're doing now is illegal." Fei Zheng says, "Miss, hiding a recording pen on yourself is illegal too, right?" Then he forcefully grabs her hand and takes her to the washroom and says, "Take the recording pen out yourself. I don't want to force you." But Xiao Xiao says, "You've already forced yourself on me once in my house. I don't think you'll have any problem doing it again." Fei Zheng turns on the shower from above. Then she takes out the device and says, "Are you crazy? This is really expensive." And as soon as she takes it out, Fei Zheng snatches the recording pen from her hand. In the next scene, Hao brings green tea for both of them so that their mood gets a little better. Xiao Xiao says, "You've taken the recording pen, now I should leave." But Fei Zheng says, "First, you need to apologize to me, and secondly, your dad wants to see you with me." She says, "My dad passed away long ago. Do you mean Fang Min? But now that she's not here, I'll have to go in her place." In the next scene, Xiao Xiao, changing her voice, brings water and says, "Here, Have some water. Fei Zheng says, what happened to your voice? She says, this is my real voice. If you don't like it, what can I do? I admit I'm your lovely Fang Min substitute, but that doesn't mean I don't have my own life or identity. Fei Zheng says, I didn't say anything like that, but I want to ask one question. Have we ever met before? Hearing this, Xiao Xiao becomes speechless, and she remembers a flashback where the doctor is telling Fei Zheng, with great regret, we have to say that we couldn't save your parents, but we were able to restore your eyesight. Standing right there, Xiao Xiao had been listening to this. In the present, she says, whether we've met or not, what difference does it make? Fei Zheng says, it matters to me, because I've been looking for someone for a long time. But Xiao Xiao doesn't tell him anything. Then Hao, handing over documents, says, this is all the information about Miss Fang Min. Pictures of her relatives, info, everything. You have to memorize this within 7 days. Xiao Xiao says, if you help me, I'll be able to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it at all. Later, when the two sit together, Xiao Xiao praises him and says, to hell with everything else, but you're smart, cooperative, and a good partner. Fei Zheng says, but unfortunately, we still can't be friends. Xiao Xiao says, I just praised you a little and you're already thinking so far ahead. In the next scene, Fei Zheng has held Xiao Xiao's hand. Xiao Xiao is about to slap him, but Fei Zheng says, look at your hands, they're already damaged. Seeing her hands, she feels very embarrassed. He says, your hands aren't an embarrassment, they're a pride. I respect every person who works hard for themselves. His response impresses Xiao Xiao because she hadn't expected it. Then Xiao Xiao asks, I'm only going to dinner with Fei Qing, so why are you preparing me so much? Fei Zheng says, you're not going out for dinner, you're going to his house. That's why you need to be prepared. You think I'm happy about it? Of course, along with you, I'll also have to suffer this trouble. Saying this, he walks away. Hao says to Fei Zheng, there's a guy named Tong Song, and he is also involved in the problematic formaldehyde products. But the most shocking thing is that Miss Xiao Xiao and Tong Song are in a romantic relationship. Hearing this, Fei Zheng is shocked and says, I have to meet this guy. In the next scene, Fei Zheng brings Xiao Xiao to Fang Ming's house, where her relatives are present. Poor Xiao Xiao has to act in front of everyone. Just then, Daddy, Mr. Fei Qing, arrives. Seeing him, Xiao Xiao says, Dad, which shocks him. Why did you suddenly start calling me Dad? Xiao Xiao doesn't understand what Fang Min used to call her dad. Then, Fei Zheng saves her. These days, she stays a bit moody, says all sorts of things, just ignore it. Later, Mr. Fei Qing takes her to the kitchen and says, I want to give you some of your mom's jewelry. But the real reason was that he wanted to say, I got you promoted, made you famous, and you can't even do one small thing for me? You can't even steal the papers of the formaldehyde case? Xiao Xiao, calming him, says, I'm trying. As soon as I get the papers, I'll give them to you. Fang Min's dad says, why does your face look so swollen? This never happened before. He slowly starts coming toward her when suddenly Fei Zheng arrives. He's drunk or pretending to be drunk. He says, you wanted the key to my safe, right? Here it is. Seeing this, Mr. Fei Qing also gets hopeful. Today my daughter will definitely steal the documents. When Xiao Xiao sits in the car, she takes off her mask and thinks, wasn't it enough to deal with Fei Zheng? Now I have to deal with this weird father too. Then Fei Zheng rests his head on her shoulder. She says, stop it, we're outside now. Stop acting. Then Hao says, sorry, but he really did drink to make the acting look real. In the next scene, both of them help Fei Zheng to his bed. Xiao Xiao is about to leave from there, but Fei Zheng grabs her hand and pulls her onto him. He says, this can't be. She couldn't have lied to me. She said her name was Fang Min, but your name is Xiao Xiao. How? Then a flashback is shown where Xiao Xiao is saying to Fei Zheng, I have to go abroad for some important work, but I've recorded these for you. By the time these are finished, I'll be back. Fei Zheng didn't like it at all. He immediately follows her and stops her, saying, you care about me so much, I haven't even been able to see you properly yet, but can I at least know your name? Xiao Xiao, who was already a substitute for Fang Min, told him her name was Fang Min and left. In the present, remembering his words, Xiao Xiao says to herself, for the first time in all these years, someone asked me my name, but what else could I have told him? Saying this, she was about to leave, but Fei Zheng again grabs her hand and sits her down with him. Then, he takes a ring out of his pocket and says, this is for you. I wanted to give it to you earlier, but you went abroad, so I never got the chance. He forcefully puts the ring on her hand and says, marry me. Xiao Xiao knew he was drunk, so she says, just wait. Tomorrow morning you'll regret your own words. But by then, Fei Zheng had already fallen asleep. She carefully puts him to bed and leaves from there. Just then, she gets a call from Tong Song, seeing which Xiao Xiao becomes quite happy. Tong Song says, I found out. All the documents of the formaldehyde case are in Fei Zheng's safe. Quickly take those documents and leak the information. Saying this, he cuts the call. It seemed like Xiao Xiao liked him, but he didn't value her much. Then, following his instructions, she quietly reaches the safe and finally gets the documents. When she turns around with the documents, Fei Zheng is standing right behind her. Seeing him, she's about to fall in fear, but Fei Zheng catches her. Then it is revealed. Fei Zheng wasn't drunk, he was just acting, so that he could find out Xiao Xiao's real identity. And now that he has found out that the girl who saved his life was none other than Xiao Xiao, Fei Zheng says, "Didn't you think that if I gave you the safe key, there might be a trap behind it?" Xiao Xiao says, "I did think so, and now I'm also sure that you know Fang Min's location." Fei Zheng laughs at this and asks for the ring back, because for now he doesn't want to tell Xiao Xiao anything true. Xiao Xiao says, "Now that you're going to her location anyway, take me along too. I promise. If she's not found there, I'll help you." On the way, he says, "Look, if you're coming with me just for the documents, then let me tell you, I didn't bring the documents in the car." Xiao Xiao says, "Do you think I'm stupid? I know you wouldn't play such a big game without something important." During the conversation, Fei Zheng says, "You shouldn't trust Tong Song so much." Xiao Xiao says, "Both of us can do anything to make money. And anyway, I know the person who's most dangerous for me right now is sitting in front of me." Hearing this, Fei Zheng immediately stops the car because it hurts him that even after spending so much time together, Xiao Xiao still doesn't understand him. Then, the car breaks down. Fei Zheng gets out and says, "You really love saying things like this, don't you? Fine, now you deserve a reward too." Saying this, he grabs her hand and makes her get out of the car and starts taking her in another direction. Xiao Xiao says, "It's so late at night, where are you taking me?" Then Fei Zheng stops and says, "You came with me just to steal those documents, right? Fine, I'll give you a chance." Then he lets go of her hand and falls back himself to see whether Xiao Xiao saves his life or steals the papers. But we see that Xiao Xiao pulls him out of the water and keeps trying for a long time to bring him back to consciousness. After this, we see that Fei Zheng has regained consciousness and Xiao Xiao is scolding him, saying, "By now I would have stolen those files if you hadn't done this useless drama." Fei Zheng asks only one question. "You were that girl, right? Who saved my life 10 years ago?" Xiao Xiao says, "That night when you were drunk, even then you mentioned the same thing. You called me your Moonlight, but there was nothing like that." Fei Zheng says, "Then ever since you appeared in front of me, why does your voice sound like hers to me? Tell the truth. It was you, wasn't it?" Xiao Xiao, to divert his attention, says, "Why don't you just think that I've been fooling you all this time?" But Fei Zheng says, "I asked you once before too. Do we know each other? Today I'm asking you the same question again. Do we know each other? You were the girl who saved my life 10 years ago, right?" His question brings tears to Xiao Xiao's eyes, but still, she doesn't give any answer. But Fei Zheng had already found out about it. He just wanted to hear it from her mouth. In the next scene, we see that Xiao Xiao answered, "No, I didn't save your life. And anyway, instead of worrying about this, it's better you think how we'll spend the night here." Seeing her worsening condition, Fei Zheng says that first you should think about your health, that's more important. Then he gets up and walks away from there. In the present, Fei Zheng brings clothes for her and says, "These were kept in the car, go and change into these." At the same time, turning his face away, he starts saying to her, "Forgive me. Before knowing your identity, I know I said a lot of wrong things to you, but to tell the truth, you really do feel familiar to me. A little bold, a little cute. You're listening to me, right?" When he turns around to look, Xiao Xiao was lying unconscious. He immediately checks her and finds out that she has a high fever. Then he picks her up and brings her to the car. After some time, when Xiao Xiao regains consciousness, Fei Zheng is staring at her. So she says, "Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to anyone looking at me this way." Fei Zheng says, "You saved my life twice, but still I couldn't take proper care of you." Xiao Xiao says, "Does it matter who saved your life?" So he says, "Yes, it definitely matters to me. When I was completely alone in this world, when no one was with me, that girl was with me." After this, in the middle of the night, Xiao Xiao's eyes open and she checks that Fei Zheng had a high fever, so she covers him with a jacket. The next morning, when Fei Zheng opens his eyes, he sees that Xiao Xiao wasn't with him. For a moment, he thought maybe she had left him and gone away. He steps out of the car and starts calling out to her. Just then, Xiao Xiao comes walking up and says, "I'm right here. What did you think? That I ran away with the document?" Fei Zheng says, "When I woke up, you weren't in front of me, so I thought that." Then when he sees the medicine in her hand, he feels bad and he says, "Forgive me for this." Xiao Xiao says, "I don't need your apology. Yes, if you really want to give me something, then give me those files." He says, "If I give you those files, will you leave forever?" Xiao Xiao doesn't answer that. Then both reach a hotel where they get a room to stay. Xiao Xiao says, "Now that you've brought my stuff, go to your own room from here. I'm going to sleep." He says, "What do you mean? I have such a high fever and you still can't take care of me?" Xiao Xiao says, "You're a grown-up now. Do you still need someone to take care of you? And anyway, you have a fiancé and I have a boyfriend. Will it look good for us both to stay in the same room?" At this, he says, "You have a fever too, and so do I. So we should take care of each other. And there's no other room available either, so I'll sleep on the sofa, you sleep there on the bed." Then Xiao Xiao also goes to sleep on the bed. But after this, we see that in the middle of the night, she wakes up and remembers the files which were in Fei Jing's hand. Seeing him asleep, she tries to take them from his hand. During this, his eyes open because he wasn't really asleep. He was just pretending. And at the same time, he says to Xiao Xiao, "Happy birthday." On the other side, Hao also arrives with a cake. This whole planning was done by Fei Jing because he already knew about Xiao Xiao's birthday. In the next scene, Hao was telling Xiao Xiao, "Boss, we already knew about your birthday, so we made the plan in advance." At this, she becomes emotional and says, "I've never celebrated my birthday before." Fei Jing says, "Doesn't your boyfriend celebrate your birthday with you?" Xiao Xiao says, "Neither of us likes to celebrate pointless things." So he says, "This isn't pointless. Rather, it means that your birth is something to be celebrated. Now quickly close your eyes to make a wish." When Xiao Xiao closes her eyes, Fei Jing picks up cream and puts it on her nose. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao also feels playful, and she picks up cream and starts chasing him. And Hao is recording this whole scene. Watching them here made it seem like they were in a romantic relationship. Eventually, Xiao Xiao catches him and makes a mustache on his face with the cream. After finishing this playful moment, Fei Jing himself hands over those papers to Xiao Xiao. He says, "These are the formal D'Hide case papers. I know how much loss our company will suffer if this information leaks, but still, I'm giving them to you." In the next scene, the next morning is shown, where Xiao Xiao was about to leak that information. But before that, she wanted to talk to Tong Song. "I want to talk to you. Today is my birthday. Did you forget about it?" But she didn't even have the courage to send this message. Just then, Fei Jing comes with breakfast for her and says, "When I was admitted to the hospital for the first time, you brought all this for me for breakfast, right?" Xiao Xiao looks at him and remembers the past when the doctor had given bad news to Fei Jing and walked away. Then she came to Fei Jing and said, "Eat something." Saying this, she started to leave. The news also talked about Fei Jing's incident, saying the person who saved him was none other than Fang Min. Then suddenly, Xiao Xiao feels something is wrong, and she immediately goes back to Fei Jing, who was about to commit suicide. And Xiao Xiao stops him and says, "I risked my life to save yours, just so that you could commit suicide this easily. I know this time is difficult for you, but a person is only brave when they learn to live even in hardship." After this, she always stayed with Fei Jing, took good care of him, and made him realize that it's okay if your parents are no longer in this world. There's still a lot left to live for. In the present, looking at her, Fei Jing says, "You've been staring at this breakfast for 41 seconds. I just want to say that whatever decision you make, I'll support you in it. And if you need anything else related to this case, I'm ready to give that too. But I never want you to fall in love with the wrong person who will ruin your whole life." Xiao Xiao gives him a direct answer. "Even if Tong Song is the wrong person, I'm still ready to love him, and I'm not afraid of that." This hurts Fei Jing, and he walks away from there. And after he leaves, Xiao Xiao receives a call from Tong Song. Xiao Xiao tells him, "I've got all the documents. I just have to leak it as evidence. But do you think if we expose Fei Jing, won't it cause any harm to you?" Tong Song says, "No, we have to do this. If you can't do it, then I'll do it." Xiao Xiao says, "No, I'll do it for you." After this, Tong Song says to her, "Happy birthday," which Xiao Xiao can't believe. She starts asking, "Did you really remember my birthday?" Without listening to anything further, Tong Song disconnects the call, which deeply hurts Xiao Xiao. For a moment, she even realizes whether maybe Fei Jing was right when he said, "Tong Song is not the right person for me." Then, when she is about to leak the news, she also starts thinking, should I leak this information or not? Then she closes the laptop and starts thinking about it, because by now she has become very much double-minded. Then Fei Jing comes to her smiling, because he knew that Xiao Xiao would not leak this information since by now she must have trusted him at least this much. Seeing his smile, Xiao Xiao says, "Don't be too happy. Just because I haven't leaked the information yet doesn't mean I'll never do it." Fei Jing says, "When am I getting happy?" Actually, I'm happy because Fang Min is about to get married, so along with that, our engagement contract will also end. At this, Xiao Xiao says, "Now that this contract is about to end, we both should go back to our homes." Then as she starts to leave, Fei Jing holds her hand and stops her. He says, "Come walk with me downstairs, just as a friend." Xiao Xiao refuses to go with him and says, "You must have a lot of other friends, so why should I be the one to go with you?" But still, he forcefully takes her along with him. Meanwhile, outside on the ground, Tong Song had made a lot of preparations because today he was going to propose to someone. When Xiao Xiao sees this scene, she becomes happy and remembers the past when Tong Song had said to her, "Even if our relationship isn't public, so what? One day we'll get married with great celebration." That's why Xiao Xiao thinks that maybe today, Tong Song is going to propose marriage to her in front of everyone. On the other side, Tong Song is talking sweetly to Fang Min. "Maybe I don't even deserve you, but you are the girl I love the most." Then Tong Song takes a bouquet and proposes marriage to Fang Min in front of everyone. And seeing this, Xiao Xiao becomes very hurt because she was thinking something completely different. Now Fang Min also says yes, but this entire scene deeply hurts our Xiao Xiao. She runs into the kitchen where she's looking for something sharp. Fei Jing says, "What are you about to do?" Tell me, I'll fully support you. Then, Xiao Xiao picks up a thick stick and says to Fei Zheng, come with me. On the other side, Tong Song and Fang Min are celebrating their small ceremony when Xiao Xiao comes and breaks all the glasses with that stick. When Fang Min asks, what are you doing here? She says, Tong Song is my boyfriend. Did you know that? Hearing this, Fang Min starts asking Tong Song, you said you were single. How could you tell such a big lie? Tong Song says, no, this is all just a misunderstanding. Please listen to me. But Fang Min is not ready to listen to anything. Xiao Xiao says, you kept making wedding promises to me and you proposed to Fang Min? Wow, what a misunderstanding there was between us. Tong Song says, who are you to judge me? You were always with Fei Zheng. I knew everything. Xiao Xiao says, wow, go ahead and blame me for 2 more things. Tong Song clearly says to her, I never liked you. I only ever saw you as a class fellow. I've always only liked Fang Min. Hearing this, tears come into Xiao Xiao's eyes. She goes and slaps Tong Song hard and then says to Fei Zheng to handle him. She leaves from there because she doesn't want to show her tears to Tong Song. After she leaves, Fang Min also doesn't listen to anything Tong Song says. In the next scene, we see Xiao Xiao sitting alone and remembering past memories when she had said to Fang Min, in the future you'll definitely find a good guy. And if anyone bullies you, I won't let him go easily. But at that time, she didn't know that it would be none other than her own boyfriend. Thinking about all this, she is crying. But as soon as Fei Zheng arrives, she stops crying because she wants to appear strong in front of him. Fei Zheng was understanding her situation. He says, do you remember what I said? You're not someone's substitute. You are Xiao Xiao. You have your own life. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao smiles and says, I wish Tong Song had never come into my life, and I wish I had met you earlier. Then in the next scene, both are drinking together. Xiao Xiao is still thinking about Tong Song. When once she had done makeup like Fang Min, Tong Song had said, you look prettier in this look. Now in the present, she says, how stupid I am. He always liked Fang Min, and I could never understand. Fei Zheng says to her, you're the most beautiful girl in the world. If he didn't see your beauty, it's his fault, not yours. You ask me? You're so special in my eyes. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao finally starts crying openly in front of him. After crying, she starts feeling like vomiting. Fei Zheng goes and brings a trash can for her. But Xiao Xiao is so drunk that instead of using the trash can, she messes up all of Fei Zheng's clothes. On the other side, Tong Song says to Fang Min, the idea of sending Xiao Xiao with Fei Zheng was mine, so that something would happen between you and Fei Zheng and I could get closer to you. I did so much for you, don't you believe even a little in what I'm saying? After a lot of insistence, Fang Min gives him a chance, but maybe she just wants to know the truth behind his planning. The next scene shows the following day, where Xiao Xiao and Fei Zheng are returning. But seeing Xiao Xiao in a low mood, Fei Zheng stops the car right there and takes her outside and asks, do you remember when you told me before going abroad that you'd come back and meet me? You said that after coming back you'd meet me, but you never came back. Xiao Xiao tells him, being a substitute was an embarrassment for me, so how could I come in front of you? Fei Zheng says, but from today, you are free, and make yourself understand this. But Xiao Xiao doesn't understand how to make herself understand. So Fei Zheng tells her to shout loudly, this is Xiao Xiao. She is not anyone's substitute. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao also shouts the same thing, which she found quite interesting. And now, she was feeling very relaxed. After spending some time together, Fei Zheng starts saying to her, can you give me a chance to make your life beautiful? In response, Xiao Xiao says, the place we're standing right now, when snowfall happens here, that day I'll give you a chance. Saying this, she walks away. After that, while sitting in the car, Fei Zheng is thinking, it never snows there. That means snowfall there is impossible. In the next scene, Fei Zheng drops Xiao Xiao to her home. He also wants to go inside with her, but Xiao Xiao says, now you should go to your home. After that, when she reaches her apartment, she sees the landlord and asks, what are you doing in my house? The landlord says, what do you mean by your house? This house is no longer yours. Your boyfriend has ended the contract. Pick up your things and leave from here. This statement hurts Xiao Xiao a lot. Fei Zheng was looking at a castle at his home, which Xiao Xiao had gifted to him. He takes it with him and goes to Xiao Xiao because he wants to tell her, the gift you gave me, I have kept it safe until today. There, Xiao Xiao doesn't take much of her belongings, and Fei Zheng meets her outside and asks, where are you going? But she doesn't answer. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao is setting up camp by the sea because she has no other place to stay. There, Fei Zheng also brings the castle and says, do you remember when you gave me the pieces of this castle and said that when I complete it, you'll come back to me? Without looking at him, Xiao Xiao says, yes, I remember. But I thought that by the time you complete this castle, you would have forgotten me. Fei Zheng says, not at all. With every piece I added, I remembered our promise. I was sure that you would definitely come back. Can you see how beautiful the castle I made for you is? Agreeing to his request, Xiao Xiao looks at the castle for a while and then praises it. But then she says, this castle didn't come into my life at the right time. Now it feels like nothing belongs to me, so it would be better if you take it back home. Anyway, it's already late and it will get colder. Fei Zheng is hurt by her words because he had worked so hard and waited for her. At first, he wanted to take the castle with him, but then he leaves it in front of Xiao Xiao and walks away. After he leaves, Xiao Xiao looks at the castle. Then she starts preparing her camp, but it doesn't work at all because everything looks like a mess. Finally, she sits on the side and starts crying. She thinks, why is all this happening to me? My parents have already left this world. I don't have Fang Min. I don't have Tong Song. And now Fei Jing has left me too. Thinking all this, she cries. But then she sees Fei Jing coming from the other side. He comes holding a lantern in his hand. Seeing her crying like this, he hugs her and says, stop crying, I'm always with you. After that, in the next scene, Xiao Xiao asks him, why did you come back? Fei Zheng says, if you like staying under the open sky, I thought I should try it too. She says, I'll soon win some lottery, then I'll start staying in a 5-star hotel. Hearing this, Fei Zheng smiles at her. In the course of their conversation, Xiao Xiao says, how stupid I am. I never once doubted Tong Song. Fei Zheng says, yes, you are indeed stupid, because you never understood my feelings in real life. Then she pretends to sleep and runs off to her camp. Fei Zheng follows her and says, I didn't bring anything with me. It's so cold outside. Can I lie down with you on the side? Xiao Xiao clearly rejects him, but just before leaving, she slips and falls on top of Xiao Xiao. Here, both become speechless. Fei Zheng gets the opportunity to lie down there. In reality, he didn't want to sleep, but he wanted to look at Xiao Xiao all night. In the middle of the night, Xiao Xiao moves very close to him in her sleep, which is a happy moment for Fei Zheng. The next morning, when Xiao Xiao opens her eyes, Fei Ying is not there. He is outside enjoying the sunrise. He also called Xiao Xiao to come to him quickly. When Xiao Xiao goes to him, it was a little cold, so he covered her with a blanket. After this, both enjoy these lovely moments. Sometimes Fei Zheng is taking her pictures, and sometimes Xiao Xiao is taking his. During this, Fei Zheng loudly says, today is the first day of our new life. And then Fei Zheng says to Xiao Xiao, why don't you stay at my house? I'll take rent from you. She asks, how much rent will you take? Fei Zheng says, don't worry, I'll give you a 50% discount. Hearing this, Xiao Xiao also starts laughing. In the next scene, Fei Zheng brings her to his house. The rooms here were king size, so Xiao Xiao says, I don't have that much rent to be able to pay you. To this, Fei Zheng says, don't worry about that. I'll give you a small room. I've already made some arrangements. The rest you can do according to your convenience. Then Fei Zheng quickly grabs her bag and runs inside. In the next scene, the next morning is shown where Xiao Xiao comes into the lounge, and when she turns on the LED, all the pictures were of Fang Min. Seeing this, Fei Zheng immediately stands in front of her and starts saying, forgive me, I collected all of them, but I really didn't know. Anyway, you can't see this. I'll correct these mistakes very soon. Xiao Xiao says, it's okay. Anyway, this only shows how deep your love is, right? But Fei Zheng still wasn't letting her see it. While trying to take the remote from his hand, he himself falls on top of her. And here, both look at each other and feel embarrassed. Just then, the doorbell rings. So Xiao Xiao says, who could it be? Fei Zheng says, it must be my assistant. Xiao Xiao says, no, you can't open the door for him. If he sees me in this night suit, it'll be hard for me to explain to him. Fei Zheng says, even if I don't open the door, he'll come in himself because he has the password. And by then, he had already come in, seeing whom both run away from there. In the room, Xiao Xiao had hidden under the blanket, and Fei Zheng was also with her. She asks, what are you doing here? Fei Zheng says, you're the one who held my hand and brought me with you. Now if I go out, I'll have to face embarrassment. Seeing both of them together, Hao starts saying, sorry boss, maybe I came at the wrong time. And he leaves from there. In the next scene, he is telling both of them, sorry, from now on I'll send a notice before coming. Xiao Xiao says, look, it's not like what you're thinking. I'm paying him rent. Hao says, surely you must be. Should I start calling you boss lady from now on? Xiao Xiao starts getting angry. She says to Fei Zheng, make him understand. Fei Zheng also starts explaining to him, look, we're just friends. Fei Zheng says, yes, boss, I understood. Now I should go. But before leaving, he once again calls her boss lady and runs away, which makes Fei Zheng start laughing. The next morning, Xiao Xiao finds out that Tong Song tricked her and took all the documents that she had stolen from Fei Zheng's safe. Then she calls Tong Song and says, don't you dare. If you leak any information and put Fei Zheng in trouble, no one will be worse than me. Fei Zheng says, I know you'll help me with this. After all, we were in a relationship for so many years. Xiao Xiao thinks, why couldn't I recognize such a double-faced person earlier? In the next scene, Tong Song reaches the company. Xiao Xiao says, by looking at the documents, I had already recognized that you designed them and hid the actual contract papers. Tong Song says, yes, I hid the real papers at the end time and tricked him into signing the wrong ones. But now he has already signed the papers of the problematic products. I also have the evidence of this. Now you can't do anything. Saying this, he leaves. And when he used Xiao Xiao to bring the documents, she calls Fang Min and says, I always considered you my good friend. The way Tong Song deceived me, he can deceive you too because he is not a good person. Fang Min says, I know very well he hurt you. For this, I will never forgive him. Xiao Xiao, happy with this, says, Today I realized in real life that skin is just skin, but in reality, our lives are very different. In the next scene, a meeting is shown where Mr. Feng tells all the shareholders that the problematic contract papers were signed not by anyone else, but by Fei Zheng. As per our company's rule, if the CEO makes a big mistake, he will be changed at a certain time. Now, we also have to follow this rule. Fei Zheng was just sitting chill as if he didn't even know what was being discussed in the meeting. He says, What's all this noise about? Just raise your hand directly. Those who don't want me to continue in my position. Hearing this, more than half of the shareholders raise their hands. From the other side, Hao also appears with a new truth. The contract papers that were signed by Mr. Fei Zheng, these were changed at the end time. Then Fei Zheng says, Now all of you must have understood how much mess was created behind my back. But don't worry, I will soon bring the face of the traitor among us in front of everyone. In the next scene, Mr. Feng, getting angry at Tong Song, says, You couldn't even do one job properly and now you're planning to marry Fang Min? Know this very well. If you stay like this, I will never let you marry Fang Min. At this, he says with a smile, Don't worry, we still have one way. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao and Fei Zheng are shown together, where he says to her, Today you didn't need to become Fang Min because I always want to see you in your own form. Then Fei Zheng asks her, Are you ready to trust me once again? When Xiao Xiao says yes to him, he says, Turn around. Obeying him, Xiao Xiao looks back, and at that moment Fei Zheng creates fake snowfall, in which his assistant was also helping him. Seeing this scene, Xiao Xiao becomes very happy because she likes snowfall a lot. Then Fei Zheng starts kissing her without saying anything. After a long kiss, he says, Forgive me, I couldn't control myself. You had kept this condition that when snowfall happens, then you'll give me a chance. Your wish has been fulfilled too. Come on, I'll teach you how to enjoy snowfall. Saying this, he lies down, and seeing him, Xiao Xiao also lies down with him. In this way, both start enjoying the snowfall. In the next scene, Tong Song tells a reporter about Xiao Xiao's identity, saying that she often role-plays for Fang Min, which Fang Min's fans don't know, and everyone should know about this. He also becomes successful in this plan because in the very next scene, all the reporters surround Xiao Xiao badly and start asking her all kinds of questions. She doesn't give any particular answer to these questions. Just then, someone starts hitting her. When at the end moment, Fei Zheng comes and saves her, and also gets hurt. Instead of worrying about himself, he asks her, Are you okay? Then Fei Zheng takes her with him and leaves from there. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao was standing outside the room. Hao comes from inside and says, Boss is applying medicine to his wounds inside. Saying this, he leaves. Xiao Xiao didn't have the courage to go inside, but she says, Fei Zheng, when you got hurt just now, I kept thinking about you continuously. I don't know why, but you didn't leave my mind for even a minute. This has never happened to me before. I don't know what kind of emotions these were. I just told you what I felt. Are you listening to me? Please, someone at least respond. Fine, if you're not responding, then consider as if I never said anything. Saying this, she was just about to leave when suddenly, Fei Zheng comes out of the room and kisses her without saying anything, because he had become emotional listening to her words. Xiao Xiao also starts kissing him back. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao asks him, You were going to show me something, right? He says, Yes, here it is. And it was a recording machine. He says, Do you remember? When everything was over for me, when I had no hope left to live, at that time you helped me through this recording machine because not only was there darkness in my life, but darkness had also come in front of my eyes. And at that time, life for me was only your voice. After you left when I got my eyesight back, even then I only kept listening to your recordings because they were the most special to me. After saying a lot of emotional things like this, he asks Xiao Xiao, Will you be my girlfriend? To which Xiao Xiao also says yes, and he kisses her out of happiness, because finally he had found the girl he had been searching for his whole life. He says, You like firecrackers, right? All this is for you. And as he says this, a lot of firecrackers are seen there. Seeing this, Xiao Xiao also becomes very happy. She appreciates him, and both of them start enjoying this scene. At the start of the episode, Fang Min is shown entering very angrily. Just then Hao stops her and asks, Lady, who are you? To this, she says, I'm Fang Min. You can't stop me from going inside. In Hao's heart, it was going on that Xiao Xiao is sitting inside with the boss. now everything will be over. Over there, both were having fun and spending time with each other when Fang Min arrives and says to Fei Zheng, "You used to like me, right? What happened now?" He also says very confidently, "Yes, I used to like you, but that was just a misunderstanding because I have always only liked Xiao Xiao." She looked like it really did matter to her. Xiao Xiao laughs and says, "All right now, stop your acting." Fei Zheng was already stressed, thinking maybe you actually came here to fight with me. Then Xiao Xiao tells both of them to go outside. Then she says to Xiao Xiao, "You remember what I told you, right?" And with this, we are shown a flashback scene where both were discussing what kind of guy you want. Fang Min had said, "I already like someone, but what's the use? I'm going abroad for studies." Here, she was talking about Tong Song, because Tong Song had promised her, "I will wait for you until you come back from abroad." Whereas Xiao Xiao had said, "I don't care whether my life partner is rich or how he looks. I just care that however I am, he should accept me in that way." He had also promised Fang Min, "Surely you will find a good guy, and if he ever bullies you, I won't let him get away with it." In the present too, Xiao Xiao says to her, "I had promised you before, and today also I promise that I will always protect you." To which Fang Min happily hugs her, because for whatever reason, their friendship never ended. In the next scene, Mr. Feng is scolding Tong Song. "You had said you would set everything right. Instead of setting anything, you created a mess." To this, Tong Song says, "Don't worry. When the shareholders find out that in that engagement event it wasn't Fang Min, but Xiao Xiao, then all the shareholders will go against her, and this way, it'll benefit us." Mr. Feng also likes this idea to a great extent. In the next scene, Fei Zheng is telling Xiao Xiao, "Tonight Mr. Feng is organizing a party at the company, but I'm not going." Xiao Xiao says, "Are you crazy? We will definitely go to this party. Don't you want that document back from Tong Song? Come on, now quickly go and change." On the other side, Tong Song is forcing Fang Min to go with him to the party, saying, "If you don't go, I have a video of Xiao Xiao. I will leak it." She didn't want to go, but still, for Xiao Xiao's sake, she has to go with him. In the next scene, the party is shown, where Xiao Xiao and Fei Zheng arrive as a beautiful couple. Seeing her, Fang Min says, "You're looking very lovely." Xiao Xiao says to Tong Song, "I want to talk to Fang Min for a while. Let her go with me." He doesn't let her go. Then Fei Zheng says, "Who even asked you? Let Fang Min decide for herself." Then Xiao Xiao forcefully holds her hand and takes her to the side and asks, "Tell me this, did Tong Song force you to come here?" To this, she softly tells in her ear, "He has a video of you. If I hadn't come, he would have leaked it." Hearing this, Xiao Xiao becomes very angry, but Fang Min stops her from doing anything, saying he still has those documents. In the next scene, Xiao Xiao, seeing Tong Song, says to Fei Zheng, "He is such a big scam bag. Why didn't I recognize him earlier?" Fei Zheng says, "Today is a good opportunity to teach him a lesson." Then both of them take a glass of wine and go to Tong Song. First, Xiao Xiao throws wine on Tong Song. Then Fei Zheng also empties his glass on him and then gives the glass into his hand, and both of them leave from there. In the next scene, Fei Zheng is waiting for Xiao Xiao. Then he sees her going with Fang Min and follows them. He follows them into a room. Fang Min had an idea to take the documents from Tong Song. Then she takes Xiao Xiao to her house. Tong Song was also in the house, so she takes him to the kitchen for dinner. On the other side, Xiao Xiao is searching for the documents, and she finds them. After dinner, Tong Song comes into the room and sees Fang Min lying under the blanket on the bed. He starts getting romantic with her, but it was Fei Zheng. Then he beats up Tong Song and says to him, "Now we have the documents and the police will come to arrest you." Tong Song says to Fang Min, "I did everything your dad said just to become worthy of you, but in your eyes, I'm a bad person." Fang Min says, "You did all this just to justify yourself." Then the police come and take him away under arrest. In the next scene, some months later, are shown where Xiao Xiao has become a good actress. After the shoot, she starts walking with Fei Zheng. She is very happy. So Fei Zheng asks her the reason for her happiness, and she says, "Since you came into my life, everything has been good." Fei Zheng then starts kissing her and says, "My love for you will never be less." Then she says to him, "I'm very tired. Will you carry me?" At this, Fei Zheng carries her on his back, just like she is a little girl. In the next scene, when Fang Min comes out of the set, Tong Song is standing there waiting for her. Seeing him, she asks, "So finally your punishment is over? What are you doing here?" Tong Song says, "I came to drop you home." To which she says, "Now we both can't be friends." Saying this, she starts going home, while Tong Song also walks along with her. Eventually, Fang Min starts talking to him. Tong Song starts saying, "I'm going abroad for studies, you tell me. What do you want?" Fang Min says, "I want to seriously enjoy my life. Wherever you're going, just inform me." In the next scene, Xiao Xiao is shown again on the shooting set. Sitting nearby, Hao starts asking his boss, "Boss, is it true that you put a 5 million ring inside this balloon? What if Miss Xiao Xiao bursts it?" At this, Fei Zheng remembers that Xiao Xiao doesn't like balloons at all. Whenever she sees a balloon, she punches it. Surely she will do the same this time too, so he tells Hao, "Just watch. When she sees this balloon, she'll punch it. Then the ring will appear in front of her, and by giving her this ring, I'll propose to her. On the other side, the shooting also ends. Fei Zheng quickly reaches Xiao Xiao, shows her the balloon and says, "What do you think about this balloon?" She says, "Why did you bring a balloon? You know I don't like balloons at all." Just when he is about to take out a needle, Xiao Xiao bursts the balloon. Seeing this, he gets shocked and says, "Crazy, why did you burst it? It wasn't worth 10 yuan, right now its value was 5 million yuan. I had tied a diamond ring inside it to propose to you." Hearing this, both of them start running after the balloon. In the next scene, both of them run quite far, but still can't catch the balloon. Xiao Xiao starts saying, "Come on, now forget it. Anyway, 5 million is gone. I accept your proposal. Let's go and get our marriage certificate quickly. You can forget 5 million for me, right?" He says, "You're not equal to 5 million. You're priceless for me." Hearing this, Xiao Xiao starts falling in love with him and begins to kiss him. And with this sweet moment, our series comes to a happy ending.